Hey gut feeler, today we're going to talk about most requested L-Glutamine and your gut health. Is it necessary? Should you take it? When to take it? How to take it? Here's all you need to know. So before we jump in, I want to know from you, have you tried L-Glutamine for healing your gut or for other things? Take a moment now and post your comment, yes or no, in the comment box below. Now gut feeler, before we come to when to take it and how to take it, one big important side note, L-Glutamine is not the same as MSG, as monosodium glutamate. Completely different things, because MSG is sodium of glutamic acid and naturally occurs in tomatoes, for example, in very, very small doses. But as a food enhancer, it's chemically produced. It's put in all these Chinese food, and if food tastes really, really, really good and you can't stop eating, it likely has MSG, which is really toxic for your brain cells and can actually, just like L-Glutamine, cross the blood-brain barrier and affect your brain directly. So some of the basics about L-Glutamine. Do you know what substance that is? What's the category, the big topic on top? It's an amino acid. Amino acids have different functions, and it's not just any amino acid. It's the amino acid that is most abundant in your body. Did you know that? You might think, well, if it's so abundant in the body, why should I take glutamine supplements, right? This is a very good point, and we're going to come back to that in a second. Before we can answer that question, it's important to understand that your body can and does produce glutamine. And it's also found in almost all foods that you eat that have some amounts of protein. So it's an abundant amino acid that is all over the place. Now, what does L-Glutamine do for your body? And should you take it for gut health? In general, we already talked about this on the channel, right? Your brain, your nervous system, and your gut, they are 100% connected, right? Because there are billions and billions of nerve endings in your gut as there are in your brain. So if one part of those is inflamed, you've got the problems on both ends. Now, because glutamine can pass your blood-brain barrier just as MSG does, it can help immensely with supporting your nervous system, supporting your brain, bringing calcium deposits out of your brain that are clogging up things that are causing inflammation, and also any other toxins like heavy metals like mercury that have pockets in the brain. L-Glutamine can help with that. Now you might think, like, what, Peggy, does this have to do with gut health, right? My brain is here, my gut is there, there's kind of a distance. But as we shared before, your nervous system connects everything. One of the great things of this amino acid is that it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, but it also, big one, supports your immune system. Now, 80% of your immune system, where is it? In your gut. Did you know that the cells in your gut, most of them also have an immune function? And then, of course, comes the healthy gut bacteria, which supports your immune system big time if it's there. Now, do I recommend to take L-Glutamine supplements like crazy? Needed or not? Definitely not. There needs to be an indication for it. So now let's move into the part when I would recommend to try out L-Glutamine supplements. They need to be gluten-free, high quality, organic. I'll link you a recommendation for a product that I checked and that I use for my clients down below. One of the largest benefits you can see from L-Glutamine is when you are stressed. Because in a state of stress, and we're not just talking about emotional and mental stress, which have a huge impact, but we're also talking about physical stress. So for example, injury, long-term illnesses. First, your body will need more L-Glutamine to recover tissue, for example, after injury, or to repair cells to support the immune system. Second, when the health of your body is impaired, you might not be able to synthesize enough L-Glutamine from your body, so this amino acid actually becomes essential, meaning it needs to be getting in from food or from supplements because the body can't produce the amount that is needed. When it comes to gut health, where I would recommend to try out L-Glutamine and really see if it makes a difference. If after 2 weeks you take it every day, after 2 weeks you don't feel any difference, likely not needed. Chronic long-term gut issues, especially after, for example, antibiotic treatments, which destroy so much of your healthy gut bacteria, and it can actually also burn wounds in your gut lining, in your stomach. And there, L-glutamine can help to repair tissue because it's a precursor of building up protein and muscle mass in your body. Another indication is when I also recommend it explicitly to clients if they have a surgery. Before the surgery, after the surgery. For example, removal of gallbladder, for example, if your doctor talked you into removing your gallbladder because there are all these stones, then L-glutamine can help you to recover faster, to get out of the hospital as fast as possible, and to also decrease any infections that might be related to the removal of an organ, for example. And last but not least, if you've got the diagnosis or you think you have leaky gut, which I talked about in videos, I'm going to link you one up here, has nothing to do with leaky gut. If you're watching this video right now and you think you have leaky gut and you're not in extreme pain and need to go to emergency room, then it's not leaky gut. It's the buildup of a gas, of a highly toxic gas for your nervous system and for your whole body. It's called ammonia, which can permeate the cells of your gut lining and creates major inflammation. Good thing about that, L-glutamine here jumps in, helps to strengthen and regenerate the cells of your mucus lining in your gut, and also decrease any inflammation from the production of ammonia gas. Of course, you also want to look into where does this ammonia gas come from and reduce that. So if leaky gut is an issue for you, then watch that video up here. Also link it down in the description. Now, last but not least, you might think like, okay, Peggy, now I know I want L-glutamine, but how do I take it? With L-glutamine, it's important that you fade it in and you fade it out. It's not something like B12, like B12 or like zinc that you should take for your life. Your body produces enough L-glutamine in a healthy state. So this is really just surgery, injury, long-term illness, right? But you want to get out of that. So it's not forever. The best time to take L-glutamine is before meals in warm water. Not hot water, warm water, dissolve it, doesn't have to be much water, 15 minutes before you eat a meal. If you're just getting started and want to try out if this actually works for you, how do you feel? You want to start with once per day, 5 grams, and then you can amp up to 3 times per day, 5 grams. Now, there is another amino acid that is often talked about when it comes to gut issues, especially if they're related to toxic bacteria like Streptococcus or viruses like Epstein-Barr, and that is L-lysine. So I would love you to watch this video right now to learn more about L-lysine and then decide if you need L-lysine or maybe L-glutamine is better for you, or maybe you want to try out both. Okay, so watch this video about L-lysine, one of the biggest virus and pathogen killers that I personally experienced and that I recommend.